Head first into the sudden downfall of one of YouTube's most popular sponsors, Honey. We'll examine how the company's shady practices were exposed, the backlash from the YouTube community, and why this feels like it's really the start of the company's plans to extort the YouTube community. To truly grasp Honey's devastating downfall, we must understand what the company promised customers and how the company became a trusted sponsor on the platform. According to their website, Honey is a free browser extension that helps users save money by finding coupon codes during checkout. In addition to this, Honey also rewards users with gift cards for purchasing specific products. On the surface, the extension seems like a win-win situation for consumers. Users could potentially save money on their purchases, and if they didn't, they could at least earn some gift cards. Honey will take advantage of this positive perspective in its marketing, and enlist some of the most prominent creators on YouTube to promote its product to fans. Planning to save you hundreds of dollars this year and thousands of dollars of your lifetime. Here's how Honey works. This is $3,000 worth of shoes. Avoid you both if Honey is saving to stay on the internet and find coupon codes. Can Honey save us $600? Wow. Yeesh. And that's how Honey works. There's a free browser add-on that you assign, and every time you check out, it scans the internet and automatically applies coupon codes for you. With its seemingly harmless business model and the endorsement of hundreds of trusted creators, Honey garnered millions of active users and even a $4 billion acquisition from PayPal. Although there were certain creators that had their suspicions about the startup's operations, my gut tells me that nothing in life is free. So where's all these savings coming from? And like the money that people get from Honey, I don't trust it. They push so much advertising. They push so much advertising on YouTube. They do brand deals with other YouTubers. I think they've even offered me. And I said no, because I just don't trust Honey. For a while, almost everyone viewed Honey as the innovative startup that skillfully leveraged influence and marketing to rise through the ranks and create a billion-dollar business. However, what stirs up must come down, as the sinister secrets of Honey's success were about to be exposed in the worst way possible. By the 22nd of December 2024, the creator Mega Lag would highlight Honey's shadier side with a video titled "Exposing the Honey Influencer Scam." Honey hasn't just been scamming you, the consumer. They've also been stealing money from influencers, including the very ones they pay to promote their product. And I'm not just talking about a few bucks here. I believe this scam has likely cost content creators millions of dollars. To illustrate how Sunny subtly manipulates online purchases to divert revenue away from creators, maybe I would first compare what should happen when viewers use Honey. When you click an affiliate link and buy something, the influencer who promoted the product earns a commission for referring you to that store. So you enter product to your cart, get to the checkout page, and hello, Honey says they found you 10 coupon codes. This is what actually happens when Honey is involved in the sale. Well, once Honey popped up, what's what happened to Lime's affiliate cookie after we clicked apply discounts? You see that? Honey came in, removed Linus's affiliate cookie, and replaced it with Demo, claiming credit for the sale and pocketing the commission money for themselves. Do you think that a company out of this dealing for the creators endorsing their product would at least show some remorse? But that wasn't the case with Honey. When questioned about their shady sales tactics, Honey proudly stated that it was part of the process for them to receive credit for any purchase involving their extension. So I figured, screw it. I'll reach out to Honey and ask them directly. And sure enough, they came back to me with the following. If Honey is activated and is the last program used while shopping on the site, it is likely Honey will receive credit for the purchase. I was right, and just like that, my investigation into Honey began. Anyone looking at the situation logically could tell that Honey had no claim of any of the commission, since they neither directed customers to the product nor facilitated the purchase. What makes this even more scummy is how this practice was never disclosed in any of that promotional material, despite directly harming the creators and consumers who made Honey what it is in the first place. Sadly, this wasn't Honey's only method of exploiting its users, as Megalag would showcase two other examples of the company snatching commissions. One was through the Honey Dollar Rewards program. I made two separate purchases. For the first, I activated Honey Gold, and sure enough, you can see my affiliate cookie was replaced with Honey's. And for the second, I didn't activate Honey Gold. As expected, I was awarded a $35 commission for the sale where Honey Gold wasn't activated, and received nothing when Honey Gold was activated. For the first time, I experienced honey poaching my own affiliate commission. The other code would have users clicked on the honey extension, regardless of whether a coupon code was offered. Eventually, click that got it button to get rid of the annoying dancing coin, and follow all but that. Keep out takes the sale. Why? Because you married after ultimate version. Considering the many influencers Honey had worked with and the vast amount of revenue they were siphoning, it was likely that some of them would notice the issue. Fortunately, one did, but the problem would sadly go unpublished. Back in 2020, someone sounded the alarm, but it was ultimately ignored. However, in 2022, a different user noticed that LMG were no longer promoting Honey and asked the team if they had been dropped as a sponsor, to which one of Linus's employees responded with, "We ended the partnership with Honey due to the way their service interacted with affiliate links." Essentially, if someone clicked on an affiliate link and then they use Honey and search for a deal, Honey will override that tracking link even if they don't find you a deal. That didn't jive with us, so we ended the partnership. Even though Honey was essentially stealing from everyone they came in contact with, they think they'll at least stay true to the premise of finding good coupon carriers, right? Unfortunately, not even that was possible with Honey. Another oddity was that Honey would often only find the Honey-branded coupon codes, such as Honey 5 or Honey 10, whereas they will only have Honey-branded coupon codes. Kind of weird, right? The biggest red flag was that when I tried submitting the better coupon codes I found, Honey wasn't adding them to their database. So why not? Well, eventually I figured out what was going on. It turns out that one of the key benefits to stores partnering with Honey is that they are given full control over which coupon codes goes live on the platform. If any at all, to further illustrate this, McElbike would highlight an instance of a Honey employee openly acknowledging the fact that they restrict the kinds of discounts consumers get. What would you say to any brand that is considered working with Honey but hasn't yet? I would say missing out on convincing customers like the total watchers that is super discount savvy. You can't ignore the fact that they will run select discount codes and they might find the best deal. With Honey, you can also control the discount code percentage, which means like they will potentially find a higher discount code on the internet, and it should lets you control like the customer journey, that and control like the discount code percentage as well. Maybe like video done it over 11 million views and sparked a massive uproar in the YouTube community, as both viewers and creators expressed their disdain for Honey's scummy practices. With a comment from CoffeeZilla reading that this is insanely predatory, great investigation. Every YouTuber who promoted this should make updates to tell consumers what is actually under the hood. We're being sold online. It's not the best deal, and it's stealing from people who actually bring traffic. Now, the likes comment section wasn't the only place users expressed their feelings about Honey's betrayal. The several creators began uploading videos announcing the brand. Honey's stretching everyone's holes here, both the consumer who downloads Honey as well as the creator that promoted the Honey. That does include me. I have worked with Honey in the past because I was an avid Honey user. Seems like a pretty simple, effective product. You just find coupons at checkout to save a little money. I didn't think there was anything nefarious going on under the hood, but it turns out couldn't have been more wrong. Although this was the first time the modern YouTube community noticed Honey scam, it wasn't the first time YouTubers reported it. Back in July of 2020, a credited original MCW uploaded a video titled 5 Reasons That the Honey app is a Scam, which explored the company's dubious marketing claims. Now, if you've clicked through to buy something from your favorite blog, or from a review website like which underwear for the big and cleanest man, you know these. Once you get to this stage, you have to actually buy it in the checkout, and the Honey extensions don't often look for the best discount codes. Yes, okay. And then it comes back, probably as usual, it hasn't found you any discount codes, but it has done. And this is crucial. It has replaced the cookie that had the affiliates information with their own. So when you do buy something from that website, Joy Honey, get all the money. MCW also highlighted several other issues with Honey, such as lackluster discounts, false marketing claims, and mismanaging consumer data. Even Amazon, yes, Amazon, even they have warned their customers about joining Honey. To keep your data private and secure, uninstall this extension immediately. We are warning customers about browser extensions that collect personal shopping data without their knowledge. full consent. Even though MCW's coverage wasn't as damning as Mega Lab's, it had very similar points and showed just how deep Honey's flaws ran. However, one can only imagine how differently things would have turned out if creators and consumers had caught onto the scam earlier. Thankfully, users can now hold Honey accountable and spread awareness to the actual function of their extension, with the reviews of the product being completely annihilated. While Honey will never be able to scam users again, the individuals behind the extension have already moved on to achieve more dubious products that directly goes after creators' revenue. A few weeks before Honey was officially debunked, the creator of Honey, Brian Hudson, launched the Pi ad blocker, which promised users the opportunity to earn cash rewards from ads they viewed. Similar to his previous extension, the Pi would feature a cashback and coupon search feature. While it's unclear if this extension has the same issues as Honey, that hasn't stopped users from finding it as a scam, with reviews reading, "Scam from the creators of Honey. Scam. Scammers not safe." Shifting focus back to the ad blocker side of Pi, at a first glance, it seems like your run-of-the-mill ad blocker, but a closer look yields something more disturbing. Looking at how the rewards program is structured, it quickly becomes apparent that Pi is trying to exclude creators and websites from the ad viewing process. They do this by blocking native ads on a website or YouTube channel, and then get their users to view only their ads, thereby profiting the ad revenue from content they didn't create, a scheme that they proudly showcase in all of their marketing material. This is the only ad blocker I've ever used that works on YouTube, Twitch, and Spotify. This is Pi. It's a free Chrome extension that blocks ads everywhere you go online. And don't worry, it won't download a bunch of you can hear like other ad blockers. Pi is a trusted LA-based company. It's actually founded by one of the creators of Honey. The coolest part is that if you decide you do want to see ads, Pi will literally pay you for seeing them. Like, I made money just from this Google search. Paid like finding another ad blocker that does that. Speaking of things other ad blockers don't do, Pi also has a visual node that lets you watch your ads disappear and see how much space you save. So if you want this to be the last ad you ever see, get Pi for free right now. Essentially, Pi wants to hijack the revenue from every online ad at the cost of showing a tiny fraction with users. It is an appealing proposition to online users, but not for creators, since the extension would effectively be stealing from them. That being said, you'd think such a detrimental extension would have no direct association with the creators they plan to rob, but you'd be wrong. Some time ago, Pi reached out to our channel to sponsor us and shared some very peculiar influencer guidelines. While the documents contained the standard requirements of showcasing the extension and its features in a positive light, some details stood out to me. For example, the extension only lets users earn through specific ads, which implies that Pi would partner with and promote certain brands to its users, potentially pocketing a majority of the ad revenue while leaving everyone else with peanuts. The next point I noticed in the brief was the Pi Creator Network, which reads, Pi will whitelist any creator as a part of our partnership for 12 months, and will continue to show your ads on YouTube when users are opted into rewards for ads. Pi users will earn revenue when they see ads from creators in our network. This is highly concerning for 3 reasons. 1, the partnership's 12-month time frame means that the creators must be perpetually linked with Pi in order to keep ads on their channel. 2, it's unfair if the ads served on whitelisted channels originate from YouTube or Pi. And 3, there's no mention of what ad rates will be for creators or if it will be subject to change in the future. Joining the network leaves a portion of the creator's revenue at Pi's mercy, and there's no telling what the company will do with that power, especially when you consider what they're already trying to do. The final thing of note in the brief is that the creators of Pi must admit that the app can't block ads on every platform, despite their ad campaign stating otherwise. Reading, while we cannot block all mobile ads, i.e. ads in other apps outside of Safari, Instagram, TikTok, etc., we can block all ads within Safari mobile app. We don't block ads on YouTube app, only Safari. So, just like its predecessor Honey, Pi falls short of its key marketing premise for trying to manipulate creators into propagating its false claims. By now, it's apparent that Pi's mission isn't to provide users with a better online experience. It's to better their bottom line at the expense of everyone else, whether it's taking unearned commissions or generating ad revenue. Honey and Pi are businesses built on the idea of reaping profits from the hot word of others, while putting up the facade of being in the user's best interest. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like that'll be a profitable business model for much longer, with Honey honey's wisely, one could only imagine that face some legal repercussions. But that might not be the case. The product's terms and conditions include a class action waiver restricting legal action against them. It's unclear whether this applies to the creators they've worked with, but that has stopped a few of them from trying. If an individual person did this to another person, in most states it would be classified as a crime. And yet Honey will likely never answer for this aspect of their alleged scheme. But there is a potential silver lining, which is that my lawsuit contains a request for an injunction that, if granted, would prevent Honey from continuing to do just these sorts of things. I partnered with attorney Tom and Legal Eagle and some other great class action lawyers to pursue Honey as much as we can. Whichever way the lawsuit goes, it's safe to say that Honey and its successor, Pie, have left a bad taste in everyone's mouth.